Hi everybody. Today I'm going to be starting my seeds for the springtime. It's the beginning of March, so it's a really good time to start peppers. I'm going to start my tomatoes as well. It's maybe a little bit early for tomatoes, but I think they'll be okay if I start them today. My seedlings here, and I'm also going to start the process of cold stratifying some native perennials. I've never done this before, so I'm kind of excited to see how it turns out. Let me show you the seeds that I have, but first I want to prepare my surface here, so I'm going to get wet and dirty, so I just want to protect the table. Just some newspapers. Be good. And like I said, I have my seeds and I have all the supplies that I need to do this. It's been a few years since I've been able to garden outside, since, as some of you know, I was living abroad. And all of my seeds were old. And I decided to start fresh with some new seeds. Because even though they do advise I do buy fresh seeds every year, I've always had good success with old seeds. Couple-year-old seeds tend to still germinate pretty well, so I wouldn't throw away old seeds, at least without giving them a try first. It's always worth it. So I bought all of my seeds at Menards this year, and they have a Menards, I don't think it's Menards brand, but very affordable seeds that were on sale for 10 cents. So I got a Roma tomato, super good for salads and sauces and really anything. I also got their Keystone Resistant Giant. I think this is just a standard bell pepper. And one that has to be started outside is the carrots. Carrots are pretty easy, so I decided to get some as well. And then two more of the 10-cent ones is the cucumber. Mark and More 76. I think I've grown Mark and More 76 before, and it's just an easy one. I tried a lemon cucumber a couple years ago, and I felt it really wasn't vigorous and I didn't get a lot of cucumbers for it. So I'm doing a lot of old trustees this year. And then just a radish. This one is Radish Champion. And then among these 10-cent seeds, I couldn't find everything that I wanted, so I picked out a couple of the burpee seeds, and these were also on sale, I think for $2. I got the yellow pear tomato. This is a cherry tomato, and I've grown this one a couple times, and I just love how these taste. They're very mild, almost sweet, and the plants are pretty vigorous, so I really like this one. So we're going to start that one today. I also got just a lettuce mix. This is a mix of 4 different ones, 5 different ones. There's red salad bowl lettuce, Mizuna mustard, green curled endive, red Treviso radicchio, and rocket arugula. So this one needs to be started in the springtime typically. Lettuce is a cold growing vegetable. The radish can be started in the spring too. Directly outdoors. I believe all 4 of these are directly outdoors. Then I got a jalapeno. This is the early one. I know some people struggle with hot peppers. Personally, I've always been very successful, and I've grown some very, very spicy peppers, scorpion peppers, very successfully, and then I can't eat them all because they're too spicy, and I've only used like a couple of them. But I'll show you how I start these and sort of what I do. Maybe if you struggle with peppers, it'll be helpful. And then I have a German chamomile. This one, I believe you start outside also. And finally, beets, which I've never done before, and I'm excited to see how they go. And these are also outdoor, I believe kind of a spring and fall. You can do them like the radishes and the lettuce. So those are the vegetable selections, and let's get started on sowing these 4. I think I will do 6 of each. I'm going to be using these silicone plant trays. Really like the silicone ones because they're reusable, and they're also really easy to push the plant out when it comes time to transplanting. They really pop out very easily, and it doesn't break the plastic. Now, I'm going to use a spoon to scoop the soil into each cell. something like that is pretty good. Now I'm going to fill up the rest of them. I think I will put the peppers in the gray ones and the tomatoes in the terracotta colored ones. And these need to be planted at about 1/4 inch depth. And what you need to do is kind of just make just a little divot in your soil like this. Very small. 1/4 inches is not a lot. I like to put 2 in each one, and if it does happen that both of them sprout, I will usually just cut one very quickly, just so that there's one individual growing in each cell. So then just brush a little bit of soil over the top. They really just need to be covered by a little bit. And this is currently dry. I feel like it's easier to start with things dry and then bottom water and gently mist the top, and then the soil will saturate to the proper amount. It will prevent you from oversaturating the soil. So I like to put the name of the plant that's in here, as well as the dates. Today is, let's see, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. There we go. And there we go. It's the same with the jalapenos. 1/4 inch deep. Just make a little divot in the soil like that. And the soil is just a basic seed starter. I don't think you have to overcomplicate it. I think any seed starter works fine. not a big tomato fan. They're very mild, and I think they're better than regular cherry tomatoes. I think I got 2 in there. These ones are very small seeds. And I'll show you how I set these up at the end of the video. Let's see if we can squeeze these guys into one. Yeah, I think it works. Could probably even put another one in here if I slid this over, but let's see what that's the beauty also of these silicone ones, is they're very flexible. So how I'm going to water these is I'm going to pour water into the actual tray, and the water is going to wick up through the bottom, and I'll be able to see that the soil is moist. But for now, I'm going to spray the surface with just some water, just to moisten it for now until after I get them set up, I'll water the bottoms. And I also have a dome that I'm going to put over that, but you'll see the final setup at the end of the video. Now we can do the cold stratification, and the method I'm going to use is one that I found on YouTube. I believe the channel is called Gardening Fundamentals, and he seems to have a really good method to do this, so we're going to give that a try. I'll show you what's native perennials that I picked out. I ordered them all online at Prairie Moon Nursery, which sells native genetic perennials, which I'm very curious and excited to get into. So I'll just show you which ones I picked out. I hope I didn't go too overboard with my selections. I was very excited to do this, but I tried to limit myself a little bit. So I got this wild garlic. This one needs to be in a cold stratification environment for 60 days. So we're going to start that now. I got this perennial grass, little blue stem, and this one can be planted directly outside, so we don't have to do anything today with it. also a perennial grass, and it's the same as the blue stem. It can be directly planted outside. And also this side oats grama, which is going to be planted outside. Not sure how I'm going to do that yet, but that's a couple months away. Then we have gold Alexanders. Should be very pretty. Same thing. Have to be stratified for 60 days. And also picked out this royal catchfly. I try not to go too crazy on the hummingbird plants. I kind of only wanted to pick hummingbird favorites, but I did vary my selections a bit. Same thing for this one, though. 60 days in the refrigerator. And this orange coneflower. This I would call black-eyed Susan, which is interesting. They call it orange coneflower. But 60 days. The beard tongue as well. But this one is only for 30 days, so that will have to be separate. The cardinal flower, also 60 days. Hopefully another hummingbird favorite. Meadow blazing star, another 60-day one. The purple coneflower, and this one is actually like the grass, and it needs to be germinated outside. The milkweed, which is of course a monarch favorite. This one is 30-day stratification. Native columbine. This is a 60-day stratification. And I thought about perhaps just buying columbine from the nursery when it comes in stock. But I read that typically the columbine that they sell at like Home Depot, Lowe's, Menards is Asian or European species of columbine. So this one is native to North America. And finally, nodding onion, which is the native onion plant, and this one's also 60 days. So let's get these into little baggies. I'll show you the technique that this channel showed as well, and see if it works. And of course, I've washed my hands really good. I've washed the scissors with soap and water, and I'm going to be working on this fresh paper towel. I'm going to be cutting off a square of this paper towel to fit into these little snack bags. Go a little bit bigger than that. Okay, so let's try that for now. So we're going to start with the nodding onion. I'm going to spray down my paper towel just lightly. paper towel to the bottom. Now, put the seeds. Just like that. So now this is going to go into the refrigerator for 60 days, and then, well, I'm not sure what will happen if they're actually going to start sprouting before then, but theoretically after 60 days it can be planted in a warm spot, but it needs that refrigeration period to sort of mimic the natural way that these seeds would be sitting outside in the springtime and the cold, and then getting rained on, and then getting the warmth of summer coming and sprouting. So I'm going to do all of them the same way. Everything prepared. These are going to go in the refrigerator, and I'm going to be periodically checking them for any germination, as well as to make sure that they stay damp inside these bags, and we'll see what happens. I'm really excited to see how these work out. And these I'm going to set them up with grow lights and a heating mat, and I'll show you a short little video right now about how that looks. So let me show you guys what I have set up here. I have the seedlings in a humidity dome, and I powdered and watered them, and I also am going to spray the top of them with my spray bottle. And they're sitting on this seedling heat mat, which the peppers really need, and it keeps them around 75 degrees, which helps them germinate and I think helps them, prevents them from molding. And I have the grow light on this timer from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., so 12 hours. And they really benefit from the extra light from the grow light. And besides the grow light, they're in this south-facing window, so they're gonna get sun on sunny days, but that grow light also really helps. And once they sprout, I will put this fan on a timer, blowing on them as well. I think it helps create strong seedlings, and I really recommend doing that method. It's really worked out for me in the past. So thank you guys so much for watching, and let me know if you guys are doing seeds this year too.